Welcome back, everyone. This is part 3, the third issue of Injustice, our review or going over each individual issue of the series, and we're going to cover the entire series, at least the first Injustice comic, all 5 years. We're aiming to do that every single day going forward from here on out, so tomorrow will be issue 4. So now we're going to do issue 3, though, so let's just jump right into it. Right off the bat, I did want to notate that I really liked how they did the whole missile thing, where they're not sure where the missile went. I like how they mentioned, oh, where did it land? Oh, it didn't land. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, shh. And then all of a sudden Superman's just seen flying right at the camera or, right towards the viewers, going right through the plane or whatever the heck he ended up doing. It wasn't really clear whether he flew through the missile or the plane. I think it was the plane. He just outright just destroyed it.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, are they dead? It
Yeah.
looks like they're dead.
Yeah, I think that was what the conversation after that was about, is he basically killed them to save, tens or however many that the missiles could have ended up killing. But yeah, so I like that moment. I just like the style of how they did that, flying right at the viewer. Next, I wanted to jump ahead a little bit to page 10 and what leads up to page 10. They basically capture, the big plan is to capture Superman's parents because they're trying to figure out, how do we combat this guy? He's, all powerful. So what do we use against him here? So their only card to play, as they say, ends up being they're going to capture his parents, and they ended up using the aid of Mirror Master. They take him into the Mirror Zone or whatever the hell that's called. I know, I'm not really sure, but they use Mirror Master to go into that zone, and Superman, of course, being very angry. I just wanted to make mention and notate that I really liked how Mirror Master was used here. I like that they did use Mirror Master. I thought that was clever on how, what other villain you could really get his parents to a remote area that quickly and do it in a secretive way that maybe Superman can't even get to. So I like using that, his techniques, or like I said, I don't know what the hell it's called. Basically, they go into the mirror and go over the hell that he can go. I'm not sure the terminology, but yeah, I like that, using that as a concept, and I like the little interplay between Mirror Master and Superman. I like that he destroys the mirror, and Mirror Master's still talking to him in the little broken shards. It's good stuff. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, there's a lot there. Let me check my notes. I think I have thoughts on that. No, actually, I do not have thoughts on that. I have highlights, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
But overall, yeah, it's paced, nicely paced. I'll say that.
Sure, absolutely. Then we'll jump ahead a little bit, and the Justice League are basically, they're standing behind Superman. They do make a point about that. They, he's been there for them in the past, and he's done so much for them that they're going to stay with him. And so basically, they go around and start threatening the Rogues and beating them up to try and figure out where is Mirror Master. So they get information. They're beating up Grodd. They're beating up Weather Master. Or Weather Wizard, Weather Master, stupid. But that could be that could be a character.
They're both perfectly viable names for a DC comic.
Yeah, Weather Master. But no, Weather Wizard, they beat up Weather Wizard, they beat up Gorilla Grodd, Captain Cold, the whole gang, basically. And they're beating them up, and Captain Cold spills the beans, and I wanted to make mention that the name of the bar that Captain Cold gives up is called The World's End. Just like the movie, At the World's End.
I dig it.
One of the Cornetto trilogy movies. Anyways, so they go to the World's End, and you see several villains there. You see Cheetah. I think there's even Man-Bat there. You see Captain Boomerang, obviously throwing his boomerangs into like a picture of the Joker. I don't think it was a Joker. I don't know who the hell it was. But either way.
I think it's the Clock King sitting down.
Yeah, no, I was gonna mention that. I put that down here. Clock King sighting. Clocks. We need like a little alert, like an alarm, like and Clock King sighting. Clock King sighting. Like, that is awesome. Such an obscure referenced character, but I'm so glad they put him in here because he was great in the animated series, Batman the animated series. So calculated.
Oh, yes, I agree.
So calculated. I love that character.
One of my favorite episodes.
Yes, very, very cool. So what a great having him there. He didn't really play a role, but he was prominently featured on one of the panels, just right up front and center. So that was great to see the Clock King. Definitely wanted to make mention of that. Love the Clock King. And then going to so they end up getting to Mirror Master. He's trying to fool them by not actually being in the bar, but then somehow Raven goes into the dimension and drags him out of it, and then Wonder Woman puts the lasso around him to find where Superman's parents are. They make him strip down, or at least get the belt off him. She tells him to take off all of his clothes, which he apparently does. I don't know. But yeah, they get his belt off him, which allows Superman to go into the mirror dimension. I did want to make note of the great art in the clouds when the Flash and Superman are basically, they go up to the reflected sky, is what he calls it, just miles of reflected sky. And I thought that was a really cool concept to use that as a mirror to get into that dimension, or that's where they were hiding his parents. But yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I agree. No, I thought that was badass. I wish I had more to say, but it kind of says itself. Like
Yeah.
you say, reflected using reflected sky as a mirror. It's really smart.
Yeah, very clever. Yeah, very clever idea to use that in here. It looked really cool. Like I said, the art was really cool there, and a lot of the Wonder Woman art that's coming up is very very cool as well. I do like before we get too far on page 19. I like there's a nice bit by Batman about basically they will not find you. He threatens the president or whoever that
Yeah.
was. Yeah, he's basically saying, yeah, the police can go looking for you, but they're not going to be looking for a body on Saturn. And I just thought that's a great line, because I mean these guys can go to Saturn if they want. Green Lantern, Superman, etc. They could go to Saturn if they want, so they could hide all the bodies they want. Nobody's ever gonna find them. There could just be an entire graveyard, mass grave, or whatever the hell you want to put on Saturn, and nobody would be any of the wiser. So Superman, all this time, could have been just a serial killer, and nobody would have been none the wiser or have any evidence whatsoever. He would be pretty much innocent in the eyes of the court.
And Saturn would be a very dark and happy place. It would
Yes.
be not awesome to be on Saturn.
Yes. So I thought that was great. And then we go to a nice exchange and interaction between Wonder Woman and Ares, because Wonder Woman is basically destroying tanks and trying to end the war. That people that weren't listening, they were still attacking other countries that weren't even able to defend themselves. Still war going on, and Wonder Woman's putting a stop to this. She's destroying planes, cutting planes out of the sky, making people parachute down. So she's going out of her way to end this and try and put her foot down. Ares shows up. Ares is reveling in the war that's going on, but he's questioning her. He's kind of pulling some strings, trying to, play some mind games with her, and she's playing mind games right back, questioning, does she want to, be Superman's lover, be his wife? What is she, what are her intentions here? He's just kind of, pulling on those strings a bit, trying to mess with her. And I love that she basically throws it right back in his face. She says, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that maybe we're going to end all war and it's just going to be peace? And that now without war, you're going to be completely powerless and you're going to have to be the god of what, ponies? And she throws that in his face, which is great. And they have a nice little interchange back and forth. It gets physical. Wonder Woman starts fighting him because he grabs her hand, because he didn't like the way she was talking to him, I guess. I don't know, very 50s. just like, don't you talk to me? Yeah, okay. One of these days, right to the moon, pow. Okay, enough of that. I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I mean, that is kind of part of the Wonder Woman theme, though. That's very essential to her character. Is what she stands for, and how
Sure.
they contrast that.
Absolutely.
I've been saying the word contrast a lot lately, but go on.
Contrast. Hella contrast. Anyways, yes, so they have a little spat there. She ends up getting the best of them because Superman basically rushes down and obliterates him too, and then she cuts Ares' hand off, which she said she would do if he didn't take his hand off her. That's the order of how that works, so that's good. Got that right.
Very
And
logical,
then,
yes.
yes. So he loses his hand, and then she basically just pins him to the ground, severing his spine with her sword, pinning him to the ground. Superman is kind of showing, really his first real kind of showing of like, hey, maybe we're taking this a little too far. Do we really want to kill a god, And she says, oh, don't worry, he's not going to die. They just fade away. Gods fade away. So it doesn't look like Ares is dying here. He's just in probably a tremendous amount of pain a little bit. She says, yeah, it probably stings a little bit. Cause,
Yeah, even that's unclear. Because I'm not...
Yeah.
Is he in pain? Wonder Woman kind of made it ambiguous.
Yeah, I mean, and then we're left off. I mean, if he is in pain, he takes it like a champ because we're left off basically. He questions his own. Like now, we're getting the thoughts of Ares as they walk away, and he's questioning now. Then yeah, maybe if they do end all war, or maybe they just completely obliterate everything to the point where there is nobody left to fight anymore, and he questions himself, what would I be? And then dot 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 ponies. And I thought that was tremendous. Once again, full circle, bringing it back around. Good little verbal writing there. Good dialogue. But yeah, that's pretty much the issue. It wraps up there. Your thoughts?
Really liked Raven. Her appearance was so metal. I like that character a lot. One reason why I like Teen Titans so much is because of Raymond. Raymond.
Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. I mean, there is
Raymond.
nothing wrong with Raymond. Everybody hates Chris,
Great
though.
show. No, that's true. That is a documented fact. Yeah, Raven is just a lot of fun as a character, and a very empathetic character.
Sure.
Still not a lot of her, but I just, even though Wonder Woman, I think, is a good character, I don't particularly find her that interesting. That's coming from someone who does like her New 52 comics a
Sure.
lot. Also, I guess the second, not really a highlight, but is Wonder Woman, is she murdering people? Again, it's not clear from the narrative. I mean, this
Well,
might be my first real criticism, but the narrative just isn't really that clear of what's going on
right.
sometimes.
Who's dying and who's, yeah. I get you there.
Yeah.
I can agree with you there. Wonder Woman's not one to hold back for murdering people if she feels like it's necessary. I mean, she lops heads off, so she could
I
very
didn't
well
know
be,
that.
yeah. So she's, yeah. I mean, that's kind of her thing. So she's not. I mean, that's why she's made that comment that she's always wanted Superman to. This is. I think we mentioned that in the last issue that she's always kind of wanted Superman to assert dominance to make peace. So, yeah, she's killed people. I mean, that's her thing. She's a warrior.
Well, I had a feeling she has probably taken lives and spilled blood, but like, I kind of thought a lot of that part of her story kind of went by the wayside once she did the whole Justice League thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of
I don't
kept
know.
in check to a degree, but yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, other thoughts on the issue? I thought the art was good. Once again, I mean, a reoccurring theme thus far. Each of the issues we've read thus far have really good character interactions in one form or another between certain characters, and some good art as well. So far, that fun aspect is still maintaining.
Yeah, the story has slowed down quite a bit. I mean, it's the first two issues were packed.
Right.
And I'm actually glad it's slowing down. I'm kind of glad they're taking their time. I liked a lot of the more nuanced moments, like
Sure.
when Batman's, in the office with the president, which, again, going back to the art, that looks really good. The browns of the desk and, like, the sunset lighting.
Right.
It just,
Yeah.
I'm not really a comic book guy, so I'm especially not an artist. So I'm not really good at commenting on shading, lighting, color, all that stuff. But I know it looks good. If it looks good to me, that's the box I check. So
Right.
that's been really good so far.
Absolutely. So yeah, we kind of leave off there though. So that's really all there is to talk about on this issue. But yeah, some good stuff here so far. Some fun stuff, and I did like all the character sightings that we got. And it wasn't just like Clock King. We got our Raven. We even got Captain Marvel / Shazam in there a little bit. So we're starting to tease some more extended Justice League action going on. It's not just the same characters that we've seen thus far. So we're starting to expand a little bit, and I expect that to just get more and more expanded as we go along. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. And on that note, guys, we'll see you for issue 4 tomorrow. And you guys have a good one. Make sure to subscribe if you're liking this series that we're doing, because we have a lot more coming, plus a lot more covering the game as well.
Yeah, take care.
Adios.